We continue from where we start again yesterday. Moki Bubua, good morning and welcome to the transmission. Kini sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí gbogbo àti abati jáde báyìí is to make sure that a lot of our people are fully aware that ọ̀nà méjì kò sí, ọ̀nà kan ló wà, ọ̀nà kan tó dẹ̀ wà òun náà ni pé kí Yorùbá exit. Ní ìdájí mo fẹ́ ká wo lára àwọn iṣẹ́ tí bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe tí a fi rántí bàbá yẹn lénìí. Tá bá ń sọ pé Awo. A lot of things that Awolowo has done, which a lot of àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ politician tèmi kódà wọ́n tẹ̀ tí ṣe half of in tí Awolowo ti ṣe. And the question is why? Why tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ tó rí gbogbo nǹkan tó rí ṣe káwọn politician tèmi tí àwọn ò rí ṣe? Kí lẹ̀yin rò? These are some of the things I want us to look at this morning. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé welcome to our early morning broadcast. From what Baba Akintoye told us, we must continue to push the message of peace. Àwọn ṣe ọ̀daràn. And that's why we're doing a continuous broadcast, educating our people and giving them the only option. And that option is kí Yorùbá dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí country. But àwọn kan argue pé we should not even be talking about a Yoruba having his own country. That what we should be talking about is how to be part and parcel of one fake country that failed to respect us as Yoruba people, that lied to us for many years. Ní Nigeria fi parọ́ fún millions of Yoruba people and the rest of the indigenous people. But since tí a ti jágbọ́n Nigeria, we now understand properly that whoever is still in the when Nigeria were fixable, people like that are still living in denial. So Mokinila and I say good morning and let us kickstart the discussion this morning. What are the discussion? It is still based on Yoruba having its own independent country. Crime, that is what people don't understand. People think that when we are saying we want to have our own country, it is a crime. Apparently, crime. It is something that we should be proud to talk about. Into Kinuama Dusi, Nibububa, and in the 14th of April, 2025, just coming up to 3 o'clock in the morning as we kickstart again. So, Moki Yiti Atindara Pomowa Moki Yawa Kemi Osikanlo Yada Damuki Moki Yiti Atinwole Yita Etisun. I want to tisun. Wama will broadcast and see Ilebamo, but Yiti Ewa on a switch kúrò ní content wood ẹ máa bọ̀ níbí báyìí kájọ wo kí ni bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe, iṣẹ́ wo ni bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe kó tó di pé bàbá yẹn kú, àti pé kí ló dé tí a nífẹ̀ẹ́ bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀, kí ni nǹkan tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe that we love him so much that we cannot do without talking about him. I hope you like my outfit. Like I always say, if anybody is interested in such an outfit, do let me know and I will do my best to connect you with the dots. So like I said, the discussion this morning is going to focus around the late legend Awolowo. Kí lẹ̀yin mọ̀ nípa Awolowo? What can you share with us when we talk about Awolowo? We know that Awolowo played a big role during the independence of Nigeria, Pẹ̀lú Azikiwe and the rest. But Toba Biomo Yoruba Leni, pé kí what is the role of Awolowo, or how can you say, what can you say about him? I don't know much about him because every day we're asking Professor Akintoye, we are reading a lot of, things that people have written about Awolowo, especially when Awolowo was developing a welfare system. And that is what makes him unique and different among others. The late Awolowo was doing so much when it comes to welfare. But when you look at Nigeria today, Nigeria failed to give us a welfare system. And that is why the diaspora will never want to come back home, especially those that have enjoyed the benefit of a welfare state, whether in Canada, in America, in Japan. We have a lot of Nigerians that are Yoruba in Australia, even some of the smallest African countries. Some of them are doing very well when it comes to looking after their citizens with the welfare state. But Nigeria cannot and will not be able to look after us, using a welfare system. Kí ló fà, kí lẹ̀yin rò? Ẹ bá mi máa fi sínú comment section. We are still trying to get some of our other platforms in as quickly as possible. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and this morning the focus is kí ni Awolowo ṣe tá fi rántí bàbá yẹn? Kí ni bàbá yẹn ṣe tá fi nífẹ̀ẹ́, just as we love Professor Adebanji Akintoye as well today. Baba Akintoye tends to be focused more about the Yoruba welfare, which Nigeria failed to give us. For many years, and struggle, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wọlé, mo kí àwa Folúkẹ́, mo kí Mr. Stanley, mo kí ìyá wa Medina Adébímpé, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣẹ̀ ń dé láti Mecca, mo kí yín bẹ́ ṣe ń padà sí base yín, whether you traveled from your country where you are right now, or you travel from Nigeria, because I know that many people are returning back home after a successful outing. So somebody sent something to me tonight, well, probably yesterday. The last 2 years of Awolowo as the premier of Western region was concentrated on effort to write his name in the book of legend. And I think if anybody would ask me, why are you doing Yoruba Nation? What is your gain up for it? I want my name to be remembered for many, many years. After tí ìyẹn bá ti dàgbà tó dògbò tó lọ sí ìtàgbàre, I want people to remember this particular channel, that he also fought to make sure that the Yoruba people can have an independent country and we can have a welfare country, just as many of us have enjoyed in the United Kingdom and many other countries that we have all lived. So that is the topic this morning, and I also want you to engage. Muki Babami David Adegoke, I am still trying to get things. I think we should quickly start the Twitter space so that we are not missing anything out. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to probably play my intro just to kick us start, and we'll be ready to go. I will open the phone line. Maybe you have something that we don't know. Tẹ̀fẹ́ share pẹ̀lú wa nípa Awolowo. Kí làwọn parents tẹ̀yin sọ fún yín nípa Awolowo? Kí ni ẹ gbọ́ nípa bàbá Awolowo? Kí lẹ mọ̀ nípa bàbá Awolowo? Gbogbo eléyìí ni mo fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò lọ sí school, èmi ò dẹ̀ kàwé. So ẹ̀yin tí ẹ mọ̀ history Awolowo díẹ̀, ẹ̀yin tí bóyá àwọn bàbá yín, àwọn mọ́mì yín wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Awolowo, wọ́n sọ àwọn nǹkan tí Awolowo jẹ́ fún yín tí ẹ lè share pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, and we can learn one or two things as well. So while I'm preparing that, just to get the things going quickly, let's listen to a bit of my intro, and I will quickly come back and we can kickstart the conversation. And when I get tired, I will go to bed. Muki Iyami Fumilola Bello, Ekaro Sheda Dalewa, Muki Iyami Aduke Love, mo kí Alátiṣe Habib, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá wà. Let's enjoy this. When we come back, we'll be looking into the legend himself, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Mo ń bọ̀, mo ì tí dé.
Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia, Koikimedia.
Ẹ bá wa share program yẹn, abẹ̀yìn, ẹ bá wa share. Mo kí ibẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé ní méjì mẹ́ta, mo kí àwa root fún mi, òdò kalẹ̀, ẹ̀kalẹ̀, ẹ̀kaàárọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ọ̀lẹ́. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀. Kí lẹ mọ̀ nípa bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀? Òun là ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé láàárọ̀ yìí. Àní bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Kí lẹ̀yin mọ̀ nípa bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀? The legend himself. Awolowo was a legend, and we must continue to tell the world about him.
Àwa ni ìmọ̀lẹ̀ tí ó tàn káàkiri, èyí tó ń bójútó ọ̀nìyà. Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ, ètò tó kójú wọn tí wọ́n lò ní.
Ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà káyé kú bá yín jẹ, ètò tó kójú wọn.
À ń gbétò lárugẹ, à ń gbàtà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó kójú wọn.
These are sports, ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ọlọ́rẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké gbàtà. Koikimedia, ọ̀rọ̀ lágbàdì wọ̀ mí. Máa bá ṣe ẹ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata.
Àgbàdùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ọlọ́rẹ̀ mi.
Ṣé ìyá máa fi dípò ọ̀tẹ̀ máa lẹ?
Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa dé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀. Igbó máa wọ̀ sájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ̀, á tẹ̀lé ní ẹ̀bọ̀ra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó òyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tó pọ̀ sí o.
Koikimedia, ṣáwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia, àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńsọ́, àtúnpèrè dìde.
Àwa là ń gbétò lárugẹ ní kájọpọ̀ wọn. Àtúnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilé wa.
Ẹ bá mi gbọ́ wọlé share button. Let's talk about Awolowo. Who is Awolowo? Kí lẹ̀yin mọ̀ nípa Awolowo? Awolowo, the legend.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ o. Àgbèrègbè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Ǹjẹ́ lè rí anybody tó tún máa dàbí bàbá Awolowo? Àwọn ìbéèrè tí a tún fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ènìyàn wa nìyẹn.
òdodo alágbé dání, òtítọ́ lágbé dání. Àbí sọ̀dálẹ̀, àbí sóníkèéta.
Koikimedia, we bring you one closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia is around to give us latest. To give us latest. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó polówó. Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó polówó.
Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ìbí wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. 10 minutes to 3 a.m. Fully awake. When you look at the welfare state, that was what makes Awolowo different from the breeds of criminal politicians that we have today. So we want to look and review some of what we know about him. Moki Egbomi Tony Ages, good morning and welcome to the show. Moki Entertain Darapomowa on all the platforms. While I was with Prof, less than 72 hours ago, he was talking about Awolowo at some point during our conversation. I'm talking about Professor Akintoye. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa how and when Babawa Awolowo, the late Obafemi Awolowo I'm talking about, returned back from the prison, and how the wife became also one of the most important part of him during the care. We still have many women like that today that are very caring for their husband or their partners. Baba was trying to explain that when Baba came back from the prison, as you know, Awolowo was a very important personnel, a person that many people will visit his house. And that means one danotopo continuously. You can imagine the kind of atmosphere during that time, during that period. So Baba Akintoye was telling me that many people will come in and that means extra cooking. The wife was doing very well, a trader. Just like we have it today, before Baba Akintoye must have got himself involved fully in the quest for the Yoruba people to have their independence. Baba Akintoye was also a lecturer. Both Baba Akintoye and the late wife, Colonial Kemama, Julia Olubusola Akintoye, were both university graduate. And when Tibaba Stomba mi sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, the point I just want to raise from this part of what Baba shared with me that I want to share with many of you. I'm sure one of the most important things to know about someone is when somebody that is close can give you the accurate information that you can work with. Taban sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó súnmọ́ Awolowo, we will pick also Professor Akintoye. He's also now an elderly man. We pray for good health and long life for our father. So it's interesting to now, for somebody like me, to sit with Baba Akintoye and just allow him to take his time and explain certain things that not everything we will share, but when it comes to the Awolowo area, is something we can share because some of them are already in the public domain. So it's a privilege that I did not see Awolowo apart from the pictures that we are seeing. Okay, Egbomi D. No. Thank you so much for joining us. Moke Itewa in America, Canada. Àwọn tó wà ní Yoruba land, àwọn tí sùn. Ẹ káàárọ̀ Mr. Opeyemi. Tẹ́ bá kí mi, èmi náà kí yín. Tẹ́ bá kí mi, mo ní kí yín o. It's just a very relaxed program. You will enjoy it. And when I feel tired, I will go back and say, Udaro. But for now, I'm still okay. I've slept, I just wake up. And as usual, the only thing I know how to do is to come and speak to Yoruba people in Australia, in Japan, in China, in Africa, in Europe, and let them know that somebody was a legend and that person is known as Awolowo. So, in terms of Awolowo, ẹ bá mi fi sínú comment section. But eléyìí tí mi sọ fún yín is the one that comes direct from another man. Thank you, Baba Akintoye. I spent 7 hours with him. I've not had the privilege, I hope I will do this time, even if it's 30 minutes, one-on-one. Just sit together and engage him. But he was the one engaging me. And all you can do in that situation is to sit back and listen and digest a lot of what Awolowo, because these are the message that have been passed through the next set of people that are also coming after us. That the reason why Nigeria failed is because they are not in the care of the welfare for the people. The politicians do not love us as much as Awolowo loved the people. Baba Akintoye made it known to me that Awolowo sacrificed everything so that we can have a future. So you tend to now ask yourself, those that we think are the Awolowo, the Aworists, how did they fail to get that into the lives of many Yoruba people so that our lives would have been at least far better? But today, as I speak to you right now at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, Nigeria is not the place where things will go wrong at this time of the hour. You might die before 6 in the morning. But that is not what Awolowo wanted for us. Baba Awolowo wanted us to have a future that me, you, whether we are in Nigeria, though it was a Western region there, but the future that Awolowo wanted from the people that are known as we, the Yorubas, is not the future that we are living today. And with the little resources that was available from Baba Awolowo, he was able to achieve so much that you would not ask that with the multiple resources that we have today, why have the politicians of today failed the Yoruba people? Why? Because the welfare is not part of their own dealings. Let's focus back on the little that I heard that I can still remember that Baba Akintoye shared with me. Politics is not meant to be do or die. How many people agree with that? You know that in Europe, any small accusation for a politician, they resign. You wonder why? Because they have a previous job that they were doing prior before becoming politician. I want you to shape politics so that they can change the lives of the people. Tony Aegis just confirmed that. He lives in Belgium. Any small accusation with a politician in Europe, in America, in Asia, people get resigned. They tender, let me tell you, in the UK, they tend to tender their resignation on Friday. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of their ritual. But it is the other way around in Nigeria. Politicians, or even in Africa, until they start using walkie stick, until they start peeing. We have seen it. A whole president of Africa country, Ontosara, Otibagbera, because it's not meant to be there anymore. Let's focus back again on Awolowo. When he came back from prison, Iyawo, I think, is back again. Because it's nice and quiet and probably less people online, apart from me. That was saying they were abroad. And to in Africa, what is some of them, they don't have light on their phone and see 2 streets away. Imagine take your mobile phone to go and charge. I don't think some of us in abroad understand what some of us are facing. I mean, not me, but what millions of Yoruba people are facing. The phone, our phone, the good phone that you bought from America, Canada, or the one you asked them to buy in Nigeria, when the battery is finished on the phone, they have to take the phone and charge 2 streets away. They'll pick it up in the morning. So when you call them that there's an emergency, they don't know because they don't have the phones with them. That is what has happened to the lives of millions of our people that we are trying with them to rectify by having an independent Yoruba country. And I want to be reading comment. Please, let me comment. This is a very important topic. Don't worry, I'm not going to curse. It's nice and easy. No swearing. But I want us to engage, and the line is open in case but I'm sure you know my studio number by now. The studio number is +44, which is the UK code. Though you can't call direct because I'm not in the UK, so it has to be WhatsApp. +44 74 04 405917. So my kabai. +44 74 04 405917. Let me read what our mother, our grandmother, Awolowo, because some of you also know Awolowo because your parents were part of that era of Western region politics. So Yami, only, yes, Koiki, you're right. Politics is not meant to be do or die, But in Nigeria, that in location 419, grandma me add by 2. Politics is somebody must die. And that is why we have tend to now know that it's meant to be natural. But in Nigeria today, if there's an accident, people will say, how many people agree with that phrase? I mean, I don't think I've heard in UK where accident has happened, and I'll start thinking that they have been used by the politician. Not that they are not rituals in any part of the world, but in Nigeria, any accident will link it automatically to the ritualist part of the system that is operating. Let's focus with Baba Awolowo. I don't want to lose the focus because there is a particular pointer that I'm going to read, let you know from what Baba Akintoye told me, then I can move to the article or the write-up that was sent to me about how Awolowo played the last 2 years of the last 2 years of Awolowo as the premier of Western region. We can never get back to Western region again as it is right now in Nigeria. And that means that nobody should be talking about restructuring. It is completely bizarre, too late. It is gone. And if restructuring is gone, the question then is, can the politicians of today perform at least ìdajì Awolowo ṣe? Mo kí bàbá mi Aro Jenny, mo kí Dúródọlá, mo kí Mr. Dewumi Adenipekun. Ìyàwó Baba Awolowo was telling Professor Akintoye, ó dárúkọ àwọn méjì kan again, but I can't remember their name, that they should tell Baba Awolowo to go back to his job that he was doing before he was arrested. Listen to this particular point. You might say maybe because the woman was playing the wife role and also, supporting heavily financially. Most of our mothers today are the beacon, supporting their husband. And I'm sure most of us know what I'm talking about. Come on, emphasize it. So Ìyàwó Baba Awolowo was also that woman that money was there for the father. She was a trader, I think in Baggy, according to Baba Akintoye. And I hope I'm right with that word, Baggy. Maybe Totin Tasho. So she was the beacon of funding, Tonwole. And that funding was used for many things within the household, especially when Baba Awolowo was getting many guests and cooking was increasing. The wife is now telling Baba Akintoye, as at the time, remember that Baba Akintoye is just a young man to Baba Awolowo, just like I am a young man now in my 40s, sitting next to Professor Akintoye, that is 90. Look at the age difference. So just similar to what Baba Akintoye, that was a young man. And the wife of Baba Awolowo is telling him and others to tell Awolowo to go back to work. They should be lawyer ni ẹni kó padà sí chamber. The legend himself, Moki Iyawa Shola, Oni Koiki ẹkú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. God continue to bless you and Odua land. Simple Rahim, I cite you, Mr. Korede Moki. Good morning to those of you that are still fully awake like myself. And welcome to the discussion this morning that focus around what I heard What I heard during my 7 hours spending, I wanted to spend more time, but I had to let Baba to go and sleep. I would have loved to be there overnight. But we had a quality time, and I was also fed. Staff Baba Akintoye. And shout out to Kubodoku, and shout out to a sister in America that I do not want to mention her name, for really taking care of this man on our behalf. It's not easy. From the secretary to the security to everyone that works within and outside on his behalf. Because most of the time we don't remember them. The legend Awolowo. Direct from the source, not ite can anyway, because ite me fun lowo nisin ko se ti no way èyí tí Baba Akintoye sọ sí mi létí ni, and it's a privilege. Adele fi kọ́ àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ láti prepare the future of the Yoruba, because Yoruba máa dá dúró. Does not matter what you say. Does not matter what you think about any of the politicians. They are also meant to be part of the Aworists, but they've already deviated. Jeguru Jerala won, mo kí bàbá mi Temitope, mo kí Marco Gray. Please share the program. Rugi Giant, Moria, brother, Megbomi Dada, Olaba Forija Wokua, including my dad, and Wokuta, you know. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Baba Awolowo. Ó kàn ní pointer kan tí mo fẹ́ mú níbẹ̀. Okay, máa fi àwọn orúkọ tá máa ń lò lórí social media yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fi bí Mr. sí. Because sometimes, you know, because obìnrin náà máa ń jẹ́ Ṣọlá. Ẹ má bínú wọn ni ọkùnrin ni mí o, bàbá dẹ̀ ni mí. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Wọ́n ní it is not Fakorede o, it is Fakorede. Àbí? Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Yorùbá. Gbogbo aláṣẹ máa padà lọ sí school. But let me not deviate now. I want us to remain focused on inti mo gbọ́ lẹ́nu Baba Akintoye láìpẹ́ nípa Baba Awolowo. Wọ́n ní ìyàwó Baba Awolowo ń sọ fún àwọn pé kó sọ fún Awolowo ọkọ wọn kó padà lọ sí chamber now. You're back from the prison. Go back to work. Go and earn money. Because the household need money. I mean, I am adding mine now to that. I'm sure definitely, you know, every household, somebody must be working and the next person is not working. But in Nigeria today, ọkọ òṣìṣẹ́, ìyàwó òṣìṣẹ́, àwa ni àwa jẹ́ àwa la wá gbé body ni wọn. And that is what we are facing with millions of our people. We have to now take care of their responsibility, their children, their welfare, their feeding, their security, the school. Toba ṣe jigijigi, toba lóyún, àwa la máa ṣèkómọ fún wọn, àwa la máa rán wọn lọ sí school. I'm sure most of you know, I'm sure most of you, when I'm talking like this, hey, Koikimedia, don't bá sọ̀rọ̀. The bills are there piling up. We have our own bills. Oh, Mr. Victor from Canada, Eshigoni. Yes, I am your last man standing. Tell you about Inswim, Mama G. Just like people who should do. The Baba Awolowo was not aware that the wife was saying this to Baba Akintoye. But Baba Akintoye did not know how he's going to tell Awolowo to go back to work. Imagine you will be telling, as at the time, Baba Akintoye and the other three people, I think there were three of them, all professors, tell Baba Awolowo, padà lọ síbi iṣẹ́. They couldn't. When it was also now time that Gowon called Baba to work for him, and according to Baba Akintoye, I think the work was for about 30 months. That he served the government. Wọ́n nígbà tí Baba Awolowo máa dé, kò mú ṣingbá wá. Ẹ mọ̀ pé bí ṣe lo ṣingbá yẹn in a layman nìyẹn. Baba Awolowo did not bring any wealth back in the government. Àwọn èèyàn gbọ́n kan tí mo ń sọ mọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí. When Baba Awolowo was involved in the government of Gowon and he returned back after serving back to Ikenne, he did not bring anything back. No wealth, no money, no car, no house. The same thing he left, he came back to meet. Is that the kind of politician that we have today? Are you adding it together now? Ṣé àwọn olóṣèlú tá ṣe ní náà nìyẹn lénìí that when they are coming into politics, we know them. Some of us even know that ibi tó ń bẹ lélẹ̀ alàgbà. Some of them left Ekiti, like Fayose, now living in Lagos, because as a former governor, Ekiti is no longer suitable for him to live. Imagine that. I don't think you hear what I'm saying. These are former governors that govern the state, that should be living permanently in the state after their tenure. No, they don't want to live there anymore because it is not suitable for them, but they expect you and me to live in the state that they could not live, even though they were part and parcel. Do you know that when Akeredolu, all this panky that was going on with him, we didn't know whether he's alive, he has died, you know, he couldn't leave power to the deputy, the wife wanted to become the governor. I don't know how that is going to happen. Akeredolu was operating from Ibadan until he died. Akeredolu was operating from Ibadan, in his house in Ibadan. So you can now tell that the politicians have deceived every one of us for a very long time. But we didn't know. Àwọn kan tí ń comment sí báyìí pé Koiki gbójú sí báyìí mo rí ni Fẹ́mi brother mi. Ó ní Koiki má máa jẹ́ kó pẹ́ kó tó wá ṣe program. You are like a medicine to us that we need to use, because tá bá ti lo medicine yẹn ṣe lára wa máa ń balẹ̀, because you have proved to us that you can deliver the message in your own capacity, not just you alone. Mo kí ẹ dáadáa brother mi, thank you so much. And like I always say, you have a good journalist that is still learning, because learning is a curve. You never stop learning. That is what, do you know that Baba Akintoye still sit down? I gave him something that I'm not going to share what it is. And I was reading it to him when I was with him. And Baba Akintoye, somebody was disturbing. No, it might disturb me. And he was telling me, no, you need to adjust this. Okay, send that to the secretary and I will do some of the adjustment, blah, 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 and we will get it back to you. This man is 90 years old and he's still sitting on the computer, writing. As at the time I saw Baba, he was telling me that he has just drafted something overnight. That is the kind of leader that we have. And don't ever think that you are too young to learn. My mom went back to university at the age of 70, and she did a 3-year course, and she graduated. So, Yoruba, abroad, learning is still a continuity, especially in Yoruba. So, Ejekin Losodo on Can Radio TV. After saying good morning to you, my strong boss, Oloni boss, I am nobody boss. I am your servant. I am serving you. Ẹ̀yin ni boss. Ẹ̀yin lẹ máa sọ bí a ṣe fẹ́ direct ìrìn àjò yẹn so that kò ní di ogun, kò dẹ̀ ní dìjà. One is some of us never sleep. And he went further to say, Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ had a profound, àwọn tó gbọ́ ìbò, àwọn lè lọ school, èmi ò lọ school. Ṣé máa gbọ́dọ̀ farabalẹ̀ kí n má lọ tàbọn. Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ had a profound impact on the Yoruba land, L-A-N-D. Lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, we don't spell things like that. If I was meant to be in the UK, and I want to spell this, I will say Lima Alpha November Delta land Ile. Ile yẹn ni Fúlàní wá interest. Ile tí Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ had a profound impact on Yoruba land. Ile yẹn làwa wá ń sùn pé kí Fúlàní gbà lọ́wọ́, ẹ̀yà Fúlàní take it. Even convert it to whatever you want. But can we still live here? Only we will live here, but you will not be able to live as ọmọkọmọ. You will live as slaves. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan ní, it's okay, let's just live like that. And those are the ones that want one Nigeria. Àwọn ọmọ àlè. Àwọn ọmọ àlè ló ní, let's live in Nigeria so that Fulani can deal with us. Not just rape us, deal with us in every ramification. Kódà tó bá dé stage kan, wọ́n máa ní ká lọ pa Hausa, mo kí Alájà Àyìnkẹ́, ìyá dáadáa. Àfi bí mo ṣe rí nǹkan dùn mi, mo ṣì dúró dè, mo máa yọ̀ sí gbogbo yín lọ́rùn ní gbogbo gbà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí nǹkan tí bàbá yìí sọ, Oncan Radio TV, ẹ bá wa subscribe, kẹ́ follow wọn. Àwọn kàwé, wọ́n lọ school, àwọn lọ school. We no go school. Akọ̀gbọ́ òyìnbó tátàtátátátá. In tó máa dàbí pé èdè tí mò ń sọ, mo ti pẹ́ ní UK bí, mo ti gbó sí UK 27 years, mo ti gbó sí 15 years, wọ́n dè ní mọ́nu lé, mo lè jáde 15 years. So èmi àti wọ́n jọ ń sọ nàgó, you go, we go, we no go, we no go. Tẹ́fí máa ń gbọ́ tó dàbí pé èdè tèmi máa ń sọ yẹn, tí English bọ̀bọ̀ ilé ṣe wá smooth báyìí. Wọ́n tì mí mọ́lé ni, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kárí àtìmọ́lé. Kí ni ìyàtọ̀ tó wà ní prison? Ìyàtọ̀ kan ni pé ìgbà tó tì mí mọ́lé mo ní freedom, mo lè wa mọ́tò, mo ní license, mo lè jáde, àìmọye airport tí mo dé tí mo lè tell me bye. Màá kọ́ màá ráwọn èèyàn tán. Mo máa ń wonder ní ẹ má bínú, when I didn't have my papers, each time I go to the airport, you know when I came to UK, ẹ má bínú pé mo deviate a little bit. Apology for that. I came in the night. And you know when you're coming to the country for the first time and you have been debriefed, what to say, what not to say. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, the head. So your focus is that man or woman that will interview you to allow you to cross to the inside, because some people, they don't allow them to cross. How will you know what is happening in your surrounding? Your focus will only be like that. So I didn't see much of what the airport looks like. After many years, I've stayed in the UK. Each time I go to the airport, I always wonder what is behind the gate after the security. After 15 years, I witness it back again. And you will see more of the videos that I did at the Heathrow airport on my way to Africa. Fantastic videos. Look forward to it on my YouTube. Proper recording. Let's go back to Awolowo. Elijah Ikeni, Nigeria is just 111 years. But the Yorubas that are talking about Nigeria are talking about Nigeria as if Nigeria is even 500 years old. When Nigeria will be 500 years old. Larry Kelly, good morning. How many people know that Nigeria is not up to 500 years old? Nigeria is not 200 years. Some of our parents that died are older than Nigeria. I am not joking. Ìyá kan wà ní Olumo Rock. As at the time I met the woman, I met her personally in 2019. She was 135 years old. Imagine telling that woman that she's a Nigerian. How come I work with rubbish? Moki Bugwentewa ni Côte d'Ivoire. Let's go back to the conversation. Màá wá parí nǹkan tí Bàbá Akintoye sọ fún mi nípa Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. Nǹkan tó dá lọ́sọ̀ Obafemi Awolowo had a profound impact on the Yoruba land, particularly during his tenure as the first premier of the Western region of Nigeria. Here are some key aspects of his impact. Leadership and politics. We do not have that in Nigeria today. So when Nigerians are saying, oh, we are looking for a leader that will lead us. No, you cannot get no leader because they are not interested in your welfare. Tony Eji say because they don't develop their state, Jare. Okay, I think he's talking about why Fayose, after becoming a governor, ran out of Ekiti, go and live in Lagos, in Bodilon. You will expect them to live with the people, but they are not going to do so. Awolowo left government, came back to Kenya, lived all his life there until death came. Awolowo founded the Yoruba nationalist group, Egbe Omo Oduduwa, and led the Action Group, which became the dominant Yoruba party in the 1950s. This is where people like Baba Akintoye was part of the movement as at the time. Baba was a brilliant student, an historian. This man, this Baba Akintoye, that some of you are just, I need to buy his book. I've been told by his sister in US that Koiki, make sure you get the book. I will get the money from you, but make sure Baba autograph it before you go back to London. I didn't do it the last time. I must remember to do it this time. Awolowo led the Action Group, which became the dominant Yoruba party in the 1950s. He served as the premier of the Western region from 1952 to 1959. These are the times that Baba Akintoye made all sacrifice to work for that party. Baba Akintoye drafted the constitution from what we have heard from him. A brilliant chap. Baba Akintoye Moshegewe. You wonder that the man is 90, but brainwashing operates be Baba 60. Brain power Baba yen. That is the reason why Tawa gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé energy Tawa ní nísìn ká fi kún ti bàbá yìí kí bàbá yìí lè bá wa declare Yorùbá nation tí kò ní pẹ́ mọ́. Tí bá dẹ̀ ní kò ní pẹ́ yẹn ó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní nísinsìn ní kíákíá. But àwa la bẹ́ẹ̀ ni grandpa àwa la máa fọwọ́ kún because look, at some point money baba oya ẹ ti jókòó daddy ẹ ti jókòó ẹ kò jókòó títí ẹ dìde ẹ yẹ ká jọ tún stroll lọ sí balcony. You know that I did not have to support Baba before he stood up himself. Ẹlòmíì nínú wa, especially àwọn àti gbé abroad, I tried to ṣe wá léṣe. Èyí tẹ́ wà ń lé ẹ̀ṣin gbádùn lóòótọ́ kò sóúnjẹ but òrùn tẹ́ ń gbà sára yẹn iṣẹ́ ló ń ṣe lára yín. Ṣe ra wa ta wà labroad. Agídí la máa fi ń dìde lórí. Tó bá tó wá lọ jókòó sórí àwọn chair kan tó yẹ pé tó bá ti jókòó báyìí, ó gbọ́dọ̀ pull ẹ dìde ni. Baba was not pulled, and I'm not joking. I was next to him when he stood up himself, and we walked to the balcony. We stood for some few minutes, not 5 minutes, before he requested for his chair again. And we now sat at the balcony where you saw the picture I took with him. This is a man that is 90 years old. A gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé bàbá yẹn parí iṣẹ́ yẹn, àwa la máa ran bàbá yẹn lọ́wọ́. Kò bàbá yẹn ran Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ́wọ́ la fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ Awólọ́wọ̀ lénìí. Baba Akintoye ó ran Awólọ́wọ̀ lọ́wọ́. Not Baba Akintoye nìkan, but he was a staunch love and supporter of Baba, and he has not deviated from that. Àwọn politicians tèmi, they've fìlà Awólọ́wọ̀ nìkan ló máa ń dé. Wá dẹ̀ lo glasses Awólọ́wọ̀. They have left everything Awólọ́wọ̀ fought for. He served as the premier. We talked about that from 52 to 1959. As at the time of that 59, what in Baba Akintoye, what in negotiating Nigeria as an independent country after Ghana. So what was happening? Baba Awolowo and some set of people were traveling to England. So there was a conversation between the Colonial, that is Britain, and those that wants to hold on to the new independent Nigeria, which will be the 1960 independent. So ọdún méjì ni wọ́n fi ń ṣe tán pè ní negotiation. They go there, I don't know how many weeks, how many months they were using there. They have meeting, they drink tea at Lancaster House. I've taken you there not once, not twice. I think about 3 times. And to bá rántí àwọn videos kan tí mo lọ ṣe ní right behind Lancaster House in London. These are called the Lancaster Conference of 1957-1958. Baba Awolowo, Zig, and Tafawa Balewa. But what Baba Awolowo did not know, Mr. Okay, Kayode, good morning. On a good morning in London, good night at my end. Even the ending. What Baba Awolowo did not know is that while they were negotiating for how Britain will hand over back authority for an independent Nigeria, Britain tó ń bá Fulani sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn, because as at 1950, there is nothing called Hausa. Kò ń ṣe pé Fulani ṣe gbalẹ̀ Hausa o. As at 1950, tí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe prayer, Western region, Northern region, as at that time, ni gbogbo Fulani ti gbalẹ̀ wọn. Maybe some of you think that wọ́n ṣe gbalẹ̀ ni, no. Wọ́n ti gbalẹ̀ yẹn ti pẹ́. So there's nothing called Hausa. They've taken the whole Hausa land. Ṣé bẹ̀yẹn ṣó yé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ṣá? Do you know that kò ń ṣe 1950 ló ṣe gba ilẹ̀ Hausa o? Ilẹ̀ Hausa ti kúrò lọ́wọ́ Hausa by the Fulanis as far back as before 1950. And they want to come and replicate the same thing in Yoruba land. Ọlọ́run ní fún wọn ṣe o, but àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ gbà o. Ìyá mi Fúnmilọ́lá ní, the Lord will continue to strengthen Baba láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Let's move swiftly. Education and healthcare. Awolowo introduced free primary education for all and free healthcare for children in the Western region, significantly improving access to these essential service. Reason why many Yoruba people that their children could not access education became educated, at least up to a particular stage. Healthcare was available. Economic development. Awolowo administration leveraged the region's cocoa industry to finance development projects. Let me quickly finish what Baba said before we go back to that. After tí Baba dé láti prison, wọ́n ní kí wọ́n sọ fún bàbá pé kó padà lọ síbi iṣẹ́. Ẹ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ bàbá. Wọ́n mọ bó ṣe máa sọ fún bàbá o. Nígbà tí kò wá ní kó wá bá wọn ṣe government, tí bàbá wá lọ fún 30 months. Wọ́n nígbà tí bàbá máa dé, kò kọ́lé tuntun, kò ra mọ́tò tuntun. Bí bàbá ṣe lọ náà ni bàbá ṣe padà. Bó ṣe lọ ló ṣe padà. Ṣé àwọn politician tèmi lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀? Now, Baba now said, Baba Akintoye wani, as at the time Baba came back, they were now able to tell Baba that, look, Baba, ǹjẹ́ ni wá padà lọ sí chamber, kẹ́ padà lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́? Because you're a lawyer. Baba Awolowo was a lawyer. Most of you don't know. He had a job. And one of the best as at the time. Kódà Baba Akintoye jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé Baba Awolowo was one of the well-paid lawyers across the board in Nigeria. The best. He was the best. And Baba agreed that he will return back to work. Ṣé mọ̀ pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí ìyàwó Baba Awolowo sọ fún wọn pé kó sọ fún Baba, wọ́n mọ̀ bó ṣe máa deliver message yẹn. But when Baba now finally came back after serving the government, they told him and he agreed. And I think one of the people Baba Akintoye was mentioning to me was a lawyer that left chamber and then set up another chamber, and from there, Baba returned back. And the first day Baba was going back to court, many people, went along with him to the court. So what I wanted to picture from there, you were thinking, is that if our politicians today can embed or walk in that line, maybe things would have been a little bit more fairer. Most of them don't even have a job before. So politics is do or die for them. It was not so for Baba Awolowo. He was ready to serve his people and he did everything possibly best. I will not name a politician that I also heard from him. I'm talking about Professor Akintoye. I'll leave the name of the politician out of the broadcast. That politician says he cares less about whether whether you or me, we are okay, welfare-wise or not. Freedom for Yoruba nation coming from Iyola Adedoyin Ekaro Mukibubua. Baba Akintoye confirmed that one of our politicians in Yoruba land today doesn't care and doesn't want to go in line with Baba Awolowo own welfareism state. And that is the reason why we're where we are today. Good morning and welcome to the program. We might just stay maybe another 30 minutes. I just wanted to talk about Awolowo and go back to bed. So give me the privilege to finish it up before you go out of the broadcast. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, known as Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Now, this is what I posted on my own timeline on social media. Mama pada loka inti brother mi tofisita. We will not forget Awo. The Nigerian embassy that you have seen a lot of me and many others attending, protest in front of it, rally, Igboho was also in front of it when he came to London, was paid for with cocoa money. The value of that building today runs in millions of pounds. But it is currently being used as a Nigerian embassy after the military and everything Awolowo did was destroyed. We will not forget Awo. He was using Western region to compete with Indonesia and Malaysia. Should we run through and look at those two countries and India, those three countries? Tell me what you want me to check for you on those three countries today. Off-ed, I know a little bit. Google will help if I want to push a little bit further. Malaysia, epo pupa, epo tafin se ọbẹ̀, tafin ṣe kọ́kọ́rẹ́, ta fi ń dín àkàrà, ta fi ń ṣe mọ́ínmọ́ín. Wọ́n náà wà la fún Malaysia ní the seed. I've not been to Malaysia, but if we quickly check between what we know today about Malaysia, is a Southeast Asian country. With a population of just over 35 million. They are not even up to Yoruba people. Are you with me? Malaysia, gbogbo population wọn kò pé 40 million. The estimated Yoruba people, mo kí Remi official, èèyàn yìí, kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ̀, ìyàwó àtọmọ ńkọ́. Mo kí Aláwùsù, Aláwùsùnà 123, mo kí sir. The federal territory is called Kuala Lumpur. The population of Malaysia today is just under 40 million. Gbogbo population wọn láàárọ̀ is still under 40 million, 35, kò pé 36 million. My stepbrother was engaged. I think I've told you this. It's not a story. It's a real life. Stepbrother, he lives in England with me as well. I had a relationship with a Malaysian woman. When they were both going to leave Malaysia to travel to England, wọ́n mọ̀ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi gbọ́ èdè. Wọ́n bi ọmọ yẹn pé, why do you want to go with this man? Because ọmọ yẹn traveling. She's an accountant. But why kí ló fẹ́ ibo lẹ́yìn méjèèjì jọ ń lọ tó ibo ló mú ẹ lọ? Why are you going with him? My brother was listening to what they were saying in their language. Ọmọ yẹn ní ẹ ọkọ òun ní nǹkan kan. Wọ́n ní ibo ló ń lọ ní England. Ilé fẹ́ lọ ṣe níbẹ̀. Wọ́n bi ọmọ yẹn pé kí ló fẹ́ lọ ṣe ní UK. And that's the fact. Ẹni tó bá ń gbé ní Malaysia can confirm this. Ask anybody. I'm not talking about Nigerians to law also níbẹ̀. I'm talking about their citizens. They have a welfare state. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi wá dá wọn lóhùn padà ní èdè. Kí ló interrogate ẹ̀ fún? And right there they were shocked. Wọ́n tẹ̀ check àwọn méjèèjì, wọ́n tì wọ́n wọnú plane ni. Ọmọ yẹn wà ní Canada nísìn. Nàṣígòrè ni máa ń pè, wọ́n jẹ ráìsì ju kíló dálẹ̀ lọ báyìí. Government wọ́n ní àwọn tẹ̀ ní tie pẹ̀lú Israel. Go check their passports. It is stated there that you do not go to Israel. Wọ́n ní any relationship with Israel. But this is a country, mo kí ẹ Gani Olóyèdé, brother mi, èèyàn yìí. This is a country that is less than 40 million. And as at the time that Western region was operating, we were far ahead of Malaysia. Ẹ ti máa gbọ́ Twin Tower. Twin Tower yẹn ibẹ̀ ló kọ́kọ́ kọ́ sí. Their official language is not any bloody full English. It's called Malay. Let's just look at their economy. Kákọ̀ fi gauge àbí. I don't think Yoruba people knows what we're talking about when we're saying a Yoruba country. That means pé méjì Malaysia ló wà nínú ilẹ̀ tiwa. 2, because if we look at Yoruba land today, we are close to 70 million. Divide that by 2, that's 35 million. Straight. That means we have 2 countries right inside ready to run economy and compete with the global world in anything that they want to do. In manufacturing, do you know that India, I was telling Baba Akintoye, she Baba ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ on this. I don't know who I was having the engagement with. India, because of the tariff that was coming between America and India, iPhone shipped Apple, not iPhone, Apple, because Apple is the country. Alájà ìkẹni wọn ọmọ kankan rárá. Ẹ̀yẹn ni Koikimedia ṣe wà níbí báyìí. Mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n tó wà nílé má get upset about yourself. Wàá tayọ báyìí tílẹ̀ Yorùbá bá dìde. Wọ́n máa bí wá pé ṣé a lọ ṣògùn owó ni fún gbogbo ọmọ ìlú. We will have millionaires in millions, not in thousands. We will eradicate poverty. Kódà, we will eradicate mosquito. Mosquito tó ń jẹ yín. We will eradicate it from every part of Yoruba land. Ní gbúrò mosquito mọ́. We will eradicate it. That is how we will work hard to build the kind of economy that we want. All these kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nigeria. So I am just looking at Google to help us this morning. This is part of what Baba Awolowo was working towards during the Western region. People also ask, does Malaysia have a good economy? Question mark. What is in Malaysia main source of income? What is Malaysia main export? What type of economy does Malaysia have? Odi kan mẹ́rin, question mẹ́rin, then we go back to Awolowo. Remi official say, I am still very much single. Ọlọ́run á fún ẹ níyàwó. Bọ́ kí ọmọ kan ti wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ìwọ fine boy báyìí. Àbí wàá máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ Lẹ́gẹ́ Miami ni. Ìyẹn kàn ṣe ràkàtíà ni, ní tó máa jẹ ló wà. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ní stress gbogbo náà sọ yìí. Ní tó fẹ́ jẹ ní sínú wa. But wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé wọ́n lè wà ní party kí terrorist blow bẹ̀. Terrorist ò kiri àwa làwa fẹ́ ṣe party kò sí kan tó kan terrorist. Ájú bọ́ǹbù sí bá pa gbogbo èèyàn dànù. Ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ni. Girl kan wá kọrin ní Manchester. Èèmọ̀ pé mi ò mọ àwọn olórin yẹn. Young girl kan láìpẹ́ ní bí last 2 years or so. Ní Manchester Arena. Kìíní kan ṣàrán torúkọ ẹ̀. Kò sí tó kan terrorist ibi tẹ́tí ń jó yẹn lọ máa ju kan sí ọmọ. Ẹ̀yẹ kákọ̀ sáré wò. The economy of Malaysia is an emerging and developing upper middle income. Highly, tó bá sọ pé nǹkan I is a different thing. HIGH. Tó bá wá ní highly tó fi LY sí lẹ́yìn. Industrialize. This is what Baba Awolowo was doing to make sure that gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá was well industrialized and preparing the ground for the future that should be me and you today. All that has been destroyed by the military and the West. It was a Western agenda to make sure that Baba Awolowo will not achieve anything. Malaysia economy is mixed economy. It ranks at number 36 largest economy in the world. 36. Check out compare Nigeria quickly. Kako wo Nigeria economy. Kako wo kilo ma fún wa. Kò ní pé kò ní fún wa ní kankan bọ̀. Kako, kako ṣe àrànjúràn Nigeria economy. The same Google, no la máa lò. The economy of Nigeria is middle income economy, emerging market with expanding manufacturing, finance, service, communication, and technology. Egboti Malaysia. Imagine developing upper middle income, while Nigeria one is middle income. And as you know, I know, Nigeria do not have middle class anymore. It is rich and the poor. Middle class is no longer part of Nigeria anymore. We're going to go back to Awolowo. I just want to clear this comparison between what Yoruba land was competing with what Yoruba people are dealing with today. So when we look at the Malaysia economy, Malaysia is forecasted to have a nominal GDP of nearly $500 billion by the end of 2024, which was just 3 months ago, because Ashiwani, April. So we just left 2024. So a country of 35 million that the Western region was far ahead of is doing nearly $500 billion. The labor productivity of Malaysian workers is number 62 highest in the world, significantly higher than China, Indonesia, and Vietnam and Philippines. Let's look at Nigeria. How is the Nigerian economy? Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa with a GDP greater than just $500 billion and steadily grew to over 7% annually between 2005 and 2014. That has dropped due to many factors: insecurity, no industry, no stable electricity, no gas, nothing coming out as an export. We are an economy that depends on every goddamn thing. Even people have started importing gari from China. That is the country Tiwon Sokwe can remain. Whereas Baba Awolowo was fighting for us to be able to have a developed, industrialized Yoruba land, but all that was destroyed. Let's move swiftly back. I don't even want to compare it with Indonesia and India. India is far ahead. Tibani far ahead. You cannot compare Nigeria with India. So Malaysia Taloyena is the best. I don't even want to join Indonesia along line with Nigeria. It's going to be as useless. Don't run away. We're just 15 minutes. It won't be more than that because I will go back to bed as well. Let's push quickly. From my inbox, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The last 2 years of Awolowo as the Premier of Western Region was concentrated on effort to write his name in the book of legend. He incorporated Western Hotel, which invested in Premier Hotel, Lafia Hotel in Ibadan, Lagos Airport Hotel, respectively. He set up the Western Nigeria Development Corporation to finance mega corporations. This was established in 1958. As at that time, remember I talked about 57-58 Lancaster Conference. 1957 Lancaster Conference, which was happening in the United Kingdom as Nigeria, a failed country, was gearing up to become a fake independent country. Let me quickly give you the background. It is known as Lancaster House Conferences. in London, 1957, 1958, were meetings where the federal constitution for an independent Nigeria was prepared. Your independence was prepared by Britain to hand over to the Fulanese. So whatever we are experiencing today as Nigerians is the preparation that Britain did in Lancaster House. They were deceiving Zeke and deceiving the others. They knew, and deceiving Awolowo anyway, because they knew that they were never going to hand over power to Awolowo, because they saw how Awolowo was developing the western part of Nigeria, and they were wondering, how is he doing it? You can see that the Yorubas were a big target for destruction by Britain. The meetings were presided over by the British Colonial Secretary as at the time. Imagine this Britain gave us Nigeria, prepare our constitution, prepare how they will hand over power, not to the real people, but to the Fulani that were never part of Nigeria, because Fulani has already invaded the north before 1957. So the Fulani is not, Britain should know that, because they knew that Fulani was not part of Nigeria, yet they made power to belong to the Fulanese. So you and me fighting today, we are fighting the right cause to take back what belongs to us. Because Britain knew that you cannot hand over power to people that were, maybe they were thinking that they are juju, we continue. But they forget that Awolowo said, and I quote, "Tásìkò bá tó, ẹ dìde, ẹ jà, ẹ gbé àtẹ̀yìn yín." And that's exactly what we are doing today. Awolowo told us that when the time comes, you would have to fight to take what belongs to you. And also some of the quotes that we have from the legend Awolowo. Nigeria is not a nation. It is a mere geographical expression. They are not Nigerians in the same sense as they are English, Welsh, and French. The word that we have been using, I am a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian. Oh yes, because that is what Britain wants you to call yourself. That is what we want to switch and return back to. I am a Yoruba man. I am Omo Dudua, or whatever we prefer to call ourselves. It's not anybody's business. We call ourselves Yoruba Nation. It's not the business of the Igbos, the business of Hausa, the business of anybody. That would be decided by the Yorubas. We call ourselves Omo Dudua. It's our own cup of tea. But the lies that Britain gave us in 1957-58, they knew that all the preparation Awolowo was doing was going to be fruitless. This is why, let me just keep the rest to my stomach. Some of us are ready to die for this cause. Some of us. And the program I did, somebody said to me, Koiki, Mobejo, please avoid saying that the Yoruba people will die. And I love feedback, because that is the only way I learn more. Because I'm Mouton. I want to see if I can get that particular. I did tell the person, thank you, but I just want to read exactly how they send it. You know, during my program in the morning and afternoon, I'll say the Yoruba people will die, but the person will say, please avoid using that phrase, that Yoruba people will die. I understand, the point of the person. I'm not sure whether it's this phone or the other phone. Thank you so much to everyone that have contributed. Yawa Kokwe Milat America, she's buying 10 walkie-talkie and she has already confirmed payment with me. Moki Gwashegon Mommy. And every one of you that have contributed, we will start buying it from tomorrow, God's willing, which is today anyway. So I'll be sending a message to my team. And as we are buying it, I will start telling them to start documenting it until we have the 100 as we agreed between us and me. 40 to Babakitoye to decide who they will be giving to. I've been receiving calls. I've said these, please do not call me for walkie-talkie. Mobeyi. This is a special need for the event upcoming. I am not buying walkie-talkie to give to individuals or groups. I am buying to deliver the walkie-talkie to Igbowo and Babakitoye and to my staff. And I say the last 10, I decide which group personally on this platform I will give to. Nobody should call me and say, I think walkie-talkie. No, it's not meant for you. So those of us that have contributed, we are grateful, but the numbers is still not going up to the 100 yet. So continue to help us with it. Let me quickly move forward because of our time. And I'm working with time this morning so that we don't pass the time I've asked you. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria and those who do not. Even a Fulani is now claiming I'm a Nigerian. A Fulani man that left Kano is going to do hunting in Edo. I don't want to debate too much because I am pressed with time. And time in the Western world, they say, is money. Western Nigeria, like I said, Development Corporation to finance mega corporation. This was established in 1958. It encouraged plantation development with 6 agricultural plantations covering 20,000 hectares. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it means a vast amount of land. Agriculture was our business, and it will still be one of our biggest business when we have an independent Yoruba country very soon. There is a lot of money in agriculture, but not the agriculture where Fulani take their cow and eat up all the crops and then kill the farmers and walk away. In collaboration with the cooperative societies, 11 additional plantations covering 8,464 hectares with crops ranging from cocoa, rubber, oil palm, citrus, cashew, coffee. I am not advertising for this company, but that is a coffee that came with me from UK. I don't drink coffee, but for somebody that does. All these coffees should be branded Oduduwa coffee. The Oyinbo people will buy the coffee and blend it in America, in all over the world, and they will not appreciate that the coffee came from Yoruba land or Ghana, which is called Nigeria as of today. WNDC, a clearinghouse for multiple of companies established for the rapid industry development and revolution of the region. I was listening to my wife, Palikishama. I'm sure you know the one in India. And China, I posted it. If you go back on my timeline, if you follow me, I posted it. No country will develop without an industry. I was talking about Apple. Apple shipped 1.5 million iPhone from India to beat the tariff that is coming between India and America. 1.5 million iPhones. So that means Apple is operating and manufacturing iPhone that I am using from India. All this should be happening in Yoruba land. But as a Yoruba person, they are saying, no, we don't, let us continue to let Nigeria beat us. No, we don't want that anymore. Nigeria has beaten us too much, and it is time that we enjoy a life before we die. We have the land, Anile. Companies will be begging our government to allow them to come and set up. Google have set up in Ireland. Amazon told the British government on their terms and conditions, this is what we will pay in tax. If not, we will pull out from here and move our business to Dublin, which is a different market. And do you know how many people will lose jobs for that purpose? They are talking about the steel industry. I was watching Sky News today. Why is a Yoruba man against Yoruba to have an independent Yoruba country that will flourish and help build a better economy with the 60 million people as against 200 million that we don't even know where the economy is? We're not fighting Fulani, we are fighting to survive so that we do not go into extinction. And it's a fight that should be ready with all our veins and blood. Nikusio, but don't think it might not happen. Just to wrap it up, number one, WAPCO at Ewekoro for cement with enough capacity to serve the whole country. Nigeria Limited producing asbestos and roofing sheet. National Bank, Wema Bank, Nigeria General Insurance, Great Nigeria Insurance, Gravi Entoville and Koi, Vegetable Oil Limited, Cocoa Processing Industry in Ogba Ikeja, Odua Textile Mill, Rat Iron Limited, Union Beverage Limited, Sunglass Company, Wemabo Estate, owner of the Western House, the tallest building, then on Broad Street and other estate, Western Livestock, Fish Street Service Limited, Caston Press, Ekwe Plywood, Asaka Paint, Nigerian Craft and Bags Limited, Nipo Plastic in Ibadan, Phoenix Motor. Also, he opened up the biggest industry layout in Ibadan, Oluyole, and the Lagos Oba Akran axis and Ilupeju Imushin axis with over 120 factories for mass production of different needs, and gave back to Nigerian Textile Mill, Western African Brewery, Dunlop Tire, Crypta Hope Aluminium, Tower Aluminium, Solar Bonnie, Nigo Gas, Nigeria Wired and Cables in Ilupeju. Odua Investment was the largest conglomerated in Nigeria as of 2004 with the asset worth of over 10 trillion naira. Chief Jeremy Obafemi paid the Western Nigerian civil servant the highest salary far above the federal government. So much jobs were created by the vast industrialization drive. All these were achieved without the oil revenue between 1951 and 1959. He also touched the road construction with bitumen and laid road network covering over 2,000 kilometers throughout the region. Other achievement of his regime are Cocoa House, the tallest building in West Africa for decades, Liberty Stadium, the most modern in the entire Africa, Western Nigerian Television and Broadcasting, WNTV and WNBS, the first radio and television station in Africa, many general hospital and dispensary in the rural area, free education and primary school level. His effort in cooperative society gave back to establishment of Cooperative Bank in 1953 and Cooperative College. The 8 years most of his present governors spent was the same with Pa Awolowo, covering what comprises 8 states nowadays. Yet he achieved so much, most of our present-day governor could not mention a world-class company, corporate institution, or industry set up to create jobs for teeming youth being turned out year in, year out by the ivory towers. Today, leaders should at least emulate our late saga. Footstep, instead, all of our temporary empowerment program, motorcycle, keke napep, pepper grinding machine, cassava grinding machine, deep freezer, freezer, fridge, clipper, etc., being used to cajole the electorate at the turn of election every 4 years. Ní ṣoríire gbogbo èèyàn olóṣèlú yẹn. You no go better for na papa. Bàbá yóò ní ṣoríire. Ó kù díẹ̀. Thank you to the legend himself, Obafemi Awolowo. Ashiri Kokoledumare, thank you so much. Lagos for show. Koiki, just finished night duty here, listening to your chat while driving home in my lovely Mercedes. Merci Oloye. Inti baba mi go to fi kuni, you know. He go, why jaye pe? Lagos for show. Say, always love your chat and always keep checking on your page. If I don't see you online for days, it's like I am missing my agumo. Thank you so much, and I think I should go back to bed. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that stayed awake, and those of you that will be watching it in the morning, don't be surprised to see me out. Like I told you, I am 24-hour service. Yoruba Nation Affair all the way from Hong Kong. When we say support Koikimedia, we specifically stated that it is voluntary. So when you pay money and support Koikimedia, don't ask Kila for Woyenshi, but this one that we are asking for walkie-talkie, I must deliver the 100, subject to if the money is completed. But those that have paid already, be rest assured that every penny of your money will be used to buy the walkie-talkie. If you're watching me and you are in a group, this is not for your group. This is buying it on behalf of Koikimedia to support the upcoming rally that we should be hearing the news very, very soon. You have those account details there. They're posting it. I'm just going to wait for a few more seconds. First Bank 30 96 80 88 48, or you can do PayPal, musakalam1@yahoo.com. You can pay me through Binance if you think that is okay with you, Kofi, or you can do my account in the UK. Those of you that are doing it in the US through my PayPal, we have seen it. Those of you in the UK, I think one person have spent £15 something. I've seen 2 donations on PayPal. I've seen a lot coming through the local currency. I can also receive SAFER if you think that you want to send money through SAFER, because some people doesn't want to have any business to do with the zoo country called Jungle. So you can do whatever is convenient for you. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. OPay account is 6104290167. Anyone can be used to support the walkie-talkie. Average of 15,000 naira is what I'm told. I said 13,000, but I said price keep changing. So we cap it at 15,000 naira. You can buy one, you can buy 2. My mom promised 5, but somebody also challenged my mom, and she has already sent the money for 10. Thank you so much. Fenty, this clearing call reach you, and you have also say, I will also be contributing. For those of you that can't contribute, just continue to do what you can do in your own little capacity. I am doing mine, you should do yours. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Odò agbéwà kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko. And this is saying good morning at exactly 12 minutes past 4. Wọ́n ní pé máa pèrún ẹ̀kẹ́mi náà lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ gbẹ̀lélẹ̀ díẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Oòduà, kí ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, mo kẹ́yìn bàbá wa, mo kí Olóyè Ìgbòho, mo kí gbogbo organization tó ń work under Baba Akintoye so that we can achieve our independence. Yoruba will be fully a country. Nobody can stop it. It is too late. Good night.